It is a new year with perhaps a new pet at your house. When last we talked with Dr. Jim and Randy Hammon in 2020, they were getting us all ready for that puppy that might have been under the tree. So what better topic in 2021 of January than talking about how to bring that new pet into your family and enjoy your time together. Dr. Jim Hammon joins us this morning. Happy New Year to you.
Thank you, Julie. Happy New Year to you as well.
You and I talked on the phone a little bit yesterday afternoon. I was out with my dogs. But you said, I think, that your office is pretty busy right now with those new pet owners.
We are. We've got lots of pandemic pets and holiday pets. So the combination of COVID and Christmas have brought a lot of new pets into the household.
So you thought it would be a good time to talk about incorporating and succeeding maybe this year with your New Year's resolutions by bringing your pet along for the ride, so to speak.
Well, I mean, what better way to maintain your resolutions than to have a friend to help you?
Right. Okay. So a lot of people, that's going to be exercise, no doubt. We get pretty weather. Our weather this week is looking great. Take your dog for a walk. Is that the idea?
Yeah. Number one, I would say my first New Year's resolution would be consistent exercise. So, even here in the wintertime, bundle up, go out for a walk, go out for a hike, go out for a run. Your pet really enjoys it, and you want to do that on a regular basis.
Hey Jim, when you talk about bundling up and going for a walk, if you have a smaller dog, do you need to put a little coat on them, or are they okay?
Well, Molly, my medium-sized dog, she's got plenty of coat that she wears around all the time. Whereas Sophie, my little terrier mix, has got a very short coat, so we always put a sweater on her when we go out for the walk.
Okay. And how do you know how to judge how long your dog can go with you on a walk?
Well, you'll know because, as you exercise with them and do your New Year's resolution and do this consistently, you'll know exactly how much your dog can do. I start out with just a walk around the block to start with. If both of you are starting out on walking, as a new resolution, but many dogs can go way longer than you. Although we also have the couch potato dogs that may go halfway around the block and then lay down, and then you have to carry them back. So it all is a lot of individual variation.
Is it a good time too, Jim, especially if you do have a new dog at your house, to teach them and train them as you're walking? Because you want the dog to, aren't you supposed to always be in front of the dog?
Or with them walking at your side. So if you work with a trainer, they're going to teach a dog to heel, and usually they're walking at your left side. And that kind of keeps them out of the street and, on the sidewalk if you're walking in that type of environment, and keeps them out of danger. And so it's better that you don't have a dog that's trying to be the lead sled dog and pull you down the street, as you watch them. Mm-hmm. Training is a very important part, especially with new puppies.
If you are watching today and you don't have a new dog, but you do want to start exercising with your dog, say your dog is 6 or 7 years old, is it pretty easy for them to just jump right in and begin an exercise routine, or do they have to ease into it a little bit like people do?
Oh, they need to get in shape. So it just depends on the activity level of your pet. Another resolution that I had was make sure that your pet can be contained within your yard. So if you got a dog that gets to play in the backyard all the time, and especially if there's a couple of dogs back there where they can play with each other, they're going to get a lot of exercise. So doing things like having a fenced-in backyard, or using the invisible fence where they wear their little collar and they receive the radio signals and know that what their boundaries are, all of those things to keep your dog in your property, but yet getting exercise and playing all the time are very important. And you always want to keep your dog safe so that they're not able to get out in the street and possibly get hit by a car.
Absolutely. Let me pivot with you for a second. I heeded your advice, and I guess back in late November maybe, I found myself at a pet store and I bought a toothbrush and toothpaste for my dog. And then she hated it. So it's been sitting in my junk drawer, and I ran across it the other day. I've got to get in a better habit of brushing her teeth. How do I get started?
Well, don't attack them with the toothbrush on day one, is what I always tell our clients. Initially just wet your finger, and then just get them used to having your finger in their mouth. and just rub the outside of the teeth. You don't even have to open their mouth. Just slide your finger inside their lips and back and forth along the outside surfaces of the teeth. You do that for about a week, once a day for about a week. Make it about a minute long. Doesn't have to be a long time that you do that. The second week, then make sure you've got pet toothpaste. You don't want to use Crest or Colgate that foams because they can't swish and spit like we can. So you always want a non-foaming pet toothpaste. And then put that on your finger, and they usually like the taste of the toothpaste really well. And so get them used to the taste of the toothpaste. Do that once a day for about 60 seconds. And then the third week, you actually can wet your toothbrush, put some of the pet toothpaste on your toothbrush, and then get them acclimated that way. But it needs to be a once-a-day process, starting with just rubbing their teeth with your finger and then finally progressing to the toothbrush.
And if you can do that and stick to it, that's going to not only save your pet on a lot of health problems down the road, but you a lot of money in addressing those health problems down the road.
Well, if we can put off having to have your pet undergo an anesthetic procedure so that they can have their teeth cleaned, then you're way ahead. Let's say we only have to do that 3 or 4 times during their whole life instead of 7 or 8 times.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's quite a bit of savings that way, and your pet's teeth stay much healthier because we kind of grade them grades 1 through 4, and if we clean them when they're in grades 1 or 2, no damage. By the time they get to grade 3, they've got infection, the gum is receding away from the tooth. Grade 4, the teeth are falling out, and it's just like human teeth. Once they lose a tooth, they don't grow one back, or if the gums are receding and exposing the non-enameled root portion of the tooth, then I can't make the gum grow back down again. So it's always better to be proactive rather than reactive.
Okay, and last question from me, then you can throw in whatever piece of advice you want to share. How often do you need to brush your dog?
As far as grooming, that is something that depends on the hair coat of your pet. Some dogs and some cats get matted on almost a daily basis if they've got the long, thick fur. And so there are some pets that need a daily brushing session. Sophie, my little terrier mix, has short hair. I almost never brush her. You know, she gets lots of petting and attention, but not necessarily brushing. Whereas Molly, the one that's kind of the medium-sized, longer hair dog, you know, she'll go out in the backyard, and before long she's laid out there and picked up, you know, chopped up leaves and grass, and, you know, we almost have to brush her before she can come back into the house because otherwise she brings the backyard with her.
That sounds like one of my dogs. Okay, did you have anything else you wanted to throw in before I let you go check in with your first patient of the day?
Just a couple of things. You know, I think another resolution is make sure that these new puppies, especially new pets that have come to the household, even if you adopted a dog or cat, get that checkup with your veterinarian. There's so much that you can learn in that first couple of visits as far as health issues that your pet may be subject to. And then as well, you know, people need to do the same thing. Make sure that you got your doctor visits taken care of as well. And then also, you know, microchip your pet in case the unknown happens. Some of these resolutions I borrowed from the Home Again Pet Recovery System. So they are one of the companies that we use that provides the microchips. When you have that microchip on board with your pet, should the unthinkable happen and your pet get lost, then anybody that scans the pet can get them back to you. If you already have a microchip on your pet, then go ahead and go to the website and make sure that all of your contact information is updated. The easiest way for your pet to get back to you is to have current contact information and current information about your pet there. And by the same token, as far as a resolution for a person, it is always good for you to have an emergency plan as well. So update that information for the humans in the household as well as the pets.
All right, Dr. Jim Hammon, thank you for the advice this morning, and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you.
You can find Dr. Jim and his brother, Dr. Randy Hammon, at Northgate Animal Hospital on Hammel Road in Hickson. Their phone number 875-9033, online, northgateanimalhospital.com. We're back in a minute.
Many people resolve to make this a healthier year, but actually making it happen can be tough. Today at 5 in our Eye on Health, Latrice Curry has some easy ways you can have a healthier new year all year.
5-star service.
5-star attitude.
5-star results.
More 5-star reviews than any